There's a friggin' coyote right there. And it's Sunday night, of course. All I can say is that sucker better be here in 2 hours. It's at 12:01. It's going down. Well, after searching the internet probably 8-9 years ago for a inexpensive solution for night vision, we stumbled upon Rolaids bench, and from him I just copied his design because he's brilliant. Did all the research. We've got the KT&C ej230 camera looking through the scope. We've got all of the necessary cordage to make it all happen, and of course a little display screen that shows everything up, and a ginormous Unique Fire T67 light. So this is great if you're on a bench, but the problem is if I want to go afield and on my fat bike and go out and do some calling remotely, this doesn't pack very well. And me being the cheap ass that I am, I'm not spending, you know, $800-600 on a ATN or a Sightmark or thermal because I can't afford that. So Facebook's been flooding from NightPal and a couple of other people that are selling this add-on to a scope, and this one is one I got off of eBay because it was the least expensive of the units, but it's probably the same exact unit, just from different manufacturers, or probably not from different manufacturers. It probably comes up of the same factory, it's just packaged and boxed for different manufacturers, supposedly. So this one here is the megaoeri3, and they also have a system that's very much like this, that they call it the megaoeri2, except their display is on top of the scope, which for me is too close. I need to have that off in the distance a bit to make sense for me. So what this does is this is going to just screw onto my scope that I've got now and replace the KT&C and all the wiring and the big gaumy display, and you're just going to look through it just like you would a traditional scope. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to move my scope forward, which won't be a problem because that's a free floated rail, so having it forward of the receiver is not going to be an issue as far as accuracy goes. I will re-zero it to accommodate any kind of shift that there might be, but I don't assume that there will be much of a shift, if at all. And you know, so far this thing is really nice. I tested it out in the dark. The infrared is, you know, not the best. I mean, you're going to get maybe 35 yards with it, but it's not a very powerful lens. The camera is a 3 megapixel, and it's a 25 millimeter lens, which the human eye is 22 millimeters. So as far as what you see through this device is very similar to what you would see looking through your scope as you normally would. There's a fine focus adjustment, there's an eye relief adjustment, there is a slot for a micro SD. The on-screen display is very, very easy to use, very self-explanatory, and I'm excited to get this thing on and see what it will really do at night with a quality infrared source. At night, any kind of source light, like, you know, a computer monitor on or whatever, it really captures the light very, very well. So I'm thinking that this is going to be a good quality product, and hopefully we'll get some good service out of it and take a lot of coyotes with it. One thing I will note, though, with using this type of system here, If you have an adjustable objective, that's going to make life a lot easier, and it's going to clean up a lot of the fuzzies that you would normally see if you did not have an adjustable optic on the front end to correct the parallax. I tried this on a different scope without the AO, and it just didn't work. And it's important to note that you really do need to have an adjustable objective to make this work correctly. Otherwise, you'll be disappointed with the quality of the video that you're seeing. So that being said, I'm going to uninstall this mess and shift that scope forward and reinstall or install this megaoeri3 unit, and then we'll see what it does at night. Alright, so overall, I'm pretty impressed with this unit here. It allows you to record. The screen is super bright. It's a little bit blurry up at the 125 yard bait site, but that could be because I gotta dial this in a little better and maybe adjust the focus here or the eye relief. So we'll see what it does at night, but the video recording is clearer, much clearer than what you see in the view screen. I'm hoping that it's a little better at night, but we'll see. Alright. There it goes. Now it's recording. Alright, so the scope is set at 75% brightness, and what I'm looking up there is my coyote bait site, and that's 125 yards right up there at the base of that tree. And scope power is set at 4, and this is about as clear a picture as I can get it during the day. The objective is fine-tuned the best that I can get it, and I'm hoping the video quality on the recording is better than what I'm viewing from the screen, because it's just a tad blurry, but that's kind of to be expected, I think. But we will see what it does at night under infrared. Alright. Alright, so this is really pathetic. This is the stock IR, which you can't see a goddamn thing. And this is my very powerful 67mm IR on full blast, and you can't see out to 125 yards with this. That's low, medium, high. And if there was a coyote up there, I wouldn't be able to identify it. So yeah, safe to say that this thing is a gimmick, folks. Don't waste your fucking money. I'll be putting back my HT&C ej230, and I guess I'm gonna have to save up my hard-earned cash or spend my Biden stimulus plan on some actual real night vision that's more portable. Alright, now we know. Taking one for the team. Okay, so after giving this a second try and 2 T67 lights, can almost get that light perfectly centered there at the 125 yards.
And I still don't know if that would be enough to positively identify a coyote. It's just not enough. Just not enough clarity. At least in the viewfinder. There might be enough clarity in the recorded video, but the viewfinder is it's just too blurry. And I just don't have the resolution to reach out that far and capture the good picture. I've tried all the adjustments that I can try, trying to get this thing to dial in, and it's just not going to happen. It's just not. So, gave it a good old try, took one for the team. I mean, it works, but it ain't the quality. I need to get a bigger megapixel camera. 3 megapixel camera isn't enough, and there needs to be a higher sensitivity to the IR light. You know, the F rating. It's just not enough. The KT&C ej230 easily outperforms this camera by a lot, and that ought to do that.
So here we are with the KT&C ej230 camera reinstalled, set at 4 power, looking at the bait site at 125 yards. There's plenty of light there, and you can see everything's lit up really nicely. That's on low, medium, and high, and that is half moon reflecting off the snow. So you can see there's still plenty of ambient light out there. This ej230 camera is so sensitive to light, but it still doesn't wash out in daylight. And this quality of this camera is far, far superior to the megaoeri3 camera. So I guess this one's going to remain a bench gun, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the other one, but it does work. It's just the viewfinder's too blurry. The recorded video looks good at 125, but the viewfinder itself, the screen is just too blurry. Can't get enough light to it. Alright, and that's the review. I'd say save your money and get an ATN or a Sightmark.